No, my dog almost died. Don't worry, he's okay. He is under me right now. He's staring at me and he's taking a little bit of a nap. Boop. So what had happened was there was some left out Chinese food. Ludwig ordered Mongolian beef, Boop. Which if you don't know is just beef and onions. And Ludwig ate all the beef out, yum, yum, yum. He ate majority of the onions out, yum, yum, yum. My dumbass, I cleaned up all the food and then my hands were full and I left that one plate out because Swift has never gotten into food before, ever, ever, ever. And I was supposed to go to this YouTube event. I got invited to this YouTube event, very exciting. It was like this YouTube For Your Consideration Emmy party to celebrate the YouTubers that got nominated for Emmys, which is awesome for them. And I was so excited to go celebrate, make some friends. And I'm dressed, I got my fit on, it's cute. I got my hair up in a bun. I got my little side pieces out and curled. I got my makeup on, I'm ready to party. And then I'm going to walk out the door and I look over and I just see the Chinese food container just empty upside down. And I was like, oh no. I was like, that's not good. And I know onions are part of like the alum family, and the alum family of foods like garlic and onions are toxic to dogs because they cause them anemia. They attack their red blood cells and like then they can die. I go to the emergency vet. As soon as this happens, I'm like, oh my God, I go to the emergency vet. I'm like, this happened at like 5 o'clock, right? And so I get there at like 5:30. I'm like speeding. Get to the emergency vet. The emergency vet is like, they put me in the lobby. I'm waiting in the lobby. And then the vet tech comes out and it was like, oh, our veterinarian said that like, it's fine that a dog your size could eat 3 cups of onions before it's a problem. And I'm like, oh, okay. He definitely didn't eat 3 cups. So I trust you. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, what do I owe you guys? Like, whatever. And they're like, oh, well, like you don't want, like, this is why the vet wanted me to tell you because they don't want to take you back because it's $185 just to see the vet. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Okay. Thanks guys. Thanks so much. And they're like, you might want to call pet poison control in case in case they want to open a case number, if they have more advice of what to look out for. I said, okay, great. So then I get home, I call pet poison control, 45-minute wait, just so you know, 45-minute wait on the phone. And it's $100 fee. That's fine. Like I saved myself a fee earlier. I'd rather just talk to these people. So I pay the $100. I get on the phone with this person after 45 minutes and they go, oh no, that vet was absolutely wrong. A dog your size could only have a 1/4 a cup of onions. And I'm like, I think he had a cup. Like, what the fuck? Why did the vet say that? And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, you need to induce vomiting, get a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide and put it down his throat. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, and then run around with him for, 20 minutes, see if he throws up. If he doesn't throw up, then you do another tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide. And then after you do that, call us back. I said, okay. So I run to the store, I grab hydrogen peroxide, I get back here, I do this within like 10 minutes, I run. I get the hydrogen peroxide, I have a syringe, I buy baby Tylenol to get a syringe because they don't just sell syringes, so I buy baby Tylenol, I measure the thing, I get it in his mouth as best as I can, he's freaking out, he hates it, and then we go for a run, we start running around outside. Nothing happens. So I call Yingling. I'm like, can you come help me give him the next tablespoon because I don't think I got it all the way in there. And he's like, yeah. And so Yingling comes over, he holds Swift, I get a tablespoon down. And then as soon as he stands up, he walks away and he throws up. But all of it is just foam and then a little bit of onions, like a little bit. And I was like, oh. So then I was like, I gotta call poison control back, which they gave me a callback number and a case number or whatever. So I call him back. Another 45-minute wait before someone answers. And I'm like, hey, like if a dog is poisoned, like what the fuck? You guys are the least useful people in the entire world. And they're like, okay, you actually need to go back to the emergency room and the vet will induce vomiting. Okay, at this point, everybody, after all of this stuff, it is now like 9 p.m. So I go back to the vet. I say, hey, I talked to poison control. They said you need to induce stop vomiting. Here's my case number, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, we'll call them. Bro, they're free, be nice. No, they cost me $100. They're not nice. They're not free and they're not nice. Okay. So I go back to the emergency vet. I say, help my dog, blah, blah. They say, okay, they take him in the back. I'm in the lobby. It's been an hour. I'm like, where's my dog? What's going on? Nothing. I wait 30 minutes. Finally, I go up to them. I'm like, hey, where's my dog? I've been here in an hour and a half. What's going on? They said, oh, we'll find out. I said, okay. So they take me back into a room after that. So they put me back into a room. And then 30 minutes later, the doctor comes in and is like, hey, it's been too long to induce vomiting. And I say, what the fuck? I was like, what do you mean it's been too long to induce vomiting? And they're like, okay, so all we can do is take his blood work. We need to hospitalize him overnight to monitor him, and we need to give him charcoal. And I was like, oh my God. And guys, I don't know how the time took so long, but it's 1 a.m. at this point. It is 1 a.m. Keep in mind, I got there first at 5 p.m. It would not have been too long if they would have just made induced vomiting when I was there. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I start freaking out. Like, I start sobbing and I'm like, this is fucking insane, because if you guys would have just made him induce vomiting when I got here at 5 o'clock, like, he'd be okay. We wouldn't be doing all this. Like, is charcoal gonna fuck up his system? Like, what is going on? Like, like, I'm so mad. And then the vet's like, I'll give you a few minutes to calm down. And I'm like, thanks. And then she leaves, and then the vet tech comes in, and I'm still pissed. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, if that bitch, when I got here at 5 o'clock, would have actually taken care of my dog, then this would have been okay. Everything would have been okay. And she was like, I'll give you 5 more minutes. And I was like, okay. And then, so they gave me 5 more minutes. Then they came back in with all the paperwork. And the paperwork, guys, so it cost $2,000 to have him there overnight, which is fine. His life is worth it. Okay. Like, his life is worth it. So they come in with all the paperwork. I'm filling out all the paperwork. One part of the paperwork is if your dog has a spontaneous, like, cardiac event where they need CPR or something, you have to give consent. If they call you to give consent and you do not answer, they will not do it. Your dog will die, because apparently during CPR, it costs like $100 every like 2 minutes of CPR or something. So it's going to cost you a bunch of money. And so they're like, you need an emergency contact who we can call if you don't answer for some reason, that can make life decisions for your dog. And I'm like, Ludwig's in Scotland. I don't have anyone in LA. Like, who am I gonna, that I'm close enough to that can make life decisions for my dog? Like, that's crazy. And so I'm like, so then I'm calling Slime. I'm like, hey, Slime, if anything happens, just say yes. Just say yes. If I don't answer and they need, just say it. Can't you like pre-approve it? No, that's what I asked, because I've gone to places where you can pre-approve it. I was like, I even asked them, I was like, I will leave my credit card. I will leave cash. Like, what do you mean? If for some reason the reception in my house is bad, which it is sometimes, and I don't answer, my dog's just gonna die. And they're like, and I'm like, oh my God. So infuriating. Slime's down to be the backup. He's great. You can write it formally. Not there. Nutsends. I see you putting a bunch of info. You must be a vet or a vet tech. Not at the place I went. Okay. So just, I'm telling you my experience. I asked all the questions. Believe me, I'm a very thorough person. I'm very thorough. So then I fill out all the paperwork. They're like, do you want to visit your dog before you go? I'm like, yes. So it's 1:30 in the morning. It's 1:30 in the morning. And, they bring Swift back, and I'm hanging out with him, and I'm just sitting there hanging out with him. I'm like sad, I'm like mad, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I look at my phone. It's been an hour. It's 2:30 in the morning. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't you have to give this dog charcoal? Wasn't it too late to induce vomiting? Don't we need to be doing something for my dog that has potential like life-threatening poisoning in him? Hello? Like, what is going on? And so I'm like, I'll give it 15 more minutes. Like, surely they're busy, like surely something horrible is happening. They're busy. And so then I go out to the desk and I'm like, hey, it's been an hour. Should I go to a different hospital? Like, you guys don't seem to give a shit about my dog. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. And then he's like, I just got back from my 15-minute break, so I don't know what's going on. I'll ask somebody. I was like, okay, great. And so then I go back in my room. I call another emergency vet. I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Should I come to you guys? Like, this is crazy, blah, 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 like all this stuff. And the vet I called was like, well, the bad thing is like, if you come to us, it's probably about a 2-hour wait because we're busy tonight. And like, it's just going to delay him getting the help he needs. And I'm like, okay. So finally the vet comes in the room and they're like, okay, we'll take Swift now. And I said, I need you to be fucking honest with me. Do you guys care about animals here? And they were like, yes, we do. We care. And I was like, are you sure? Because I've been here for hours and no one has helped my dog. And they're like, we've been helping other patients. I said, yeah, but my dog needs help too. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And like, I don't know if I trust you guys with my dog. And they're like, I promise you can trust us. Da, da, da. And I was like, okay. I walk out of there, sobbing my fucking eyes out. I wake up Maya in the middle of the night. I call her. I'm like, hey, I don't know what I should do. Should I trust my gut and go back in there and get him? Like, should I leave him with these people overnight? Like, blah, blah, blah. I look at reviews. They do have good reviews. So we landed on, I've already paid for it. They've already taken Swift back there. If they have his IV and all this stuff, just stay, you know? I was like, okay. So he stays. I get home around 4 a.m. Literally. This ordeal started at 4 a.m. I set an alarm. I call the place every hour. So 5 a.m. I call them. I say, hey, has my dog gotten his IV yet? They're like, yes. I'm like, great. Thank you. I call it 6 a.m. Hey, just checking in on my dog. Finally, by 11 a.m., even though he was supposed to be there for 12 hours, they were like, you can pick him up. He's like, he's fine. We've given him all his treatment, whatever. And I'm like, great. So I go pick him up. While I'm waiting there, guys, I'm waiting there. I'm on my phone. The door opens. So I'm thinking, oh, they're bringing Swift out. You know, every time the door opens, you look up, it's a Chihuahua or some shit. You're like, oh, never mind. Back on my phone. Oh, not my dog. I peep up and I see a gurney with a cute little lab and they're wheeling him out and his little paws are sticking out of the blankets. And I'm assuming that he's just waking up from surgery because they've got blankets on him. And, you know, when they wake up, the anesthesia makes them cold. And I'm like, oh. And then 2 minutes after they wheel that dog out is a woman with an empty leash, sobbing her eyes out with a pamphlet about afterlife care. And I'm like, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way that they just expose people in the lobby to one of the hardest moments in some, like, you're like, I'm sitting there terrified that my dog's gonna die, and I just watched another a dead dog. I just watched you wheel past a dead dog. That's crazy. That is I almost like stood up and hugged the woman because she's just sobbing, and all the rest, she like goes to pay, and all the receptionist says is, oh, sorry for your loss. And I'm like I was in shock. I'm not kidding. I was like in shock at the lack of like it. I couldn't believe it. Oh my God. They brought Swift out. He was covered in charcoal. They're like, sorry, we couldn't get off his face. I was like, I don't care. I'm never coming here again. Crazy, 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 crazy. Goodbye. And so he's going to his normal vet. He has to get blood work in 3 days. He has to get blood work in 5 days. He should be okay. He's in good spirits. He's doing okay. But like, guys, it was like the worst 30 hours. Yesterday was insane. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And like when it was like 3 a.m., I was like, and they didn't take Swift, like they hadn't even taken Swift. I turned to the lobby. I was such a bitch about it. I was like, hey, just so you guys know, I've been here since 9 p.m. and they're not helping my dog who has a toxic level of onions in him. A toxic level. And everyone in the lobby was like, oh. And I was like, I would maybe go down the street. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, Swift is doing okay. He had a bath today. We got all the charcoal off. He's looking good. He's looking happy. But I think everything will be okay. I now know he's never gotten into food left out ever before, ever. So I got a little comfortable clearly. And he's never eaten anything besides meat ever. Like, he's one of the pickiest eaters I know that I'm like, don't leave your freaking food out, even if you don't think your dog's gonna eat it. Maybe sometimes their palate changes, because holy cow, was it the worst surprise of my life. It was some good Chinese food. It was actually really good Chinese food. I won't even lie to you guys. Like, he has good taste at least, but like, I just could not believe it. Yeah, the onions were like soaked in a meat sauce. I didn't realize. Yeah, he's doing okay. We won't know for sure because apparently like the onions, they affect your like their blood, and you have to check. Like I said, we have to do his blood work in 3 days and then his blood work in 5 days. So we'll see. But oh man, it has been. But at least we know it's happening. So if there is a problem, we can like attack it and everything will be okay probably. Because we're so aware of it compared to some people, their dog will like eat onions, they won't know, and then like, you know, 5 days later their dog will just die and they have no clue why, and it was because of the onions or whatever. So we're really on top of it, and so hopefully everything will be okay. But guys, I'm not kidding you, I'm gonna be honest, I definitely should not have been driving. When I drove back to pick him up, like, it could have been a DUI. For like, my eyes were so swollen from crying and like no sleep, zero sleep, zero. Just none. It was so, I just like, it was so sad. Leave the nastiest review for that event or that vet. Yeah, I might. How much was the entirety of it? It was, they didn't charge me more than the night, the 2,500, but still. Sounds like a drunk overreactions. Vet news, your dog would be fine and Karen in the lobby. Zerg Lurkin, I called the pet poison control, whose one job is to make sure that dogs aren't like ingesting toxic level amounts compared to like a vet who does 1,000 different things. And the poison control said that he had a toxic level amount and was needed to be whatever. I don't need to justify myself. I actually don't care. You're right. I'm just a Karen, which last time I checked, I don't care if you're a Karen for a dog that can't defend itself. Like, I feel good about that. I feel good about being a Karen for standing up for the health of your dog. Yeah, I do it every day. It's like, am I supposed to be offended at that? Like,